Elizabeth. As you know, this is a place where we of course embrace and celebrate the work of young people, people that actually are contributing to the development of our beautiful continent, our beautiful culture, and all that. And as you know, we are now in the season of COP27, and it's currently happening at Egypt. And so today we actually have Letsatsi Lekhooa, who is reporting straight from COP27 in Egypt. So thank you so much, Letsatsi, for making time to actually be here. So how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. But it's too tired. I'm too tired. Yeah. We're always up and down with the meetings, the rooms, informal meetings, plenaries, everything. Then
Wow.
going home, you have to make sure that you're on time.
Yeah, I can just imagine, because like I think what most of us think is like when you go for COP, you're actually like you're going like for you're just going there for leisure or for relaxing and all that, and there's not like really much that is required from you and all that. But then like from your experience and from others as well, it's like there's really a lot that is really like going on there and everything.
Yeah. I think I have to make an advice for young people
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because they're excited going to the COP, going to the COI. But what I want to stress, young people should read, read, read. Because if you don't, because for me, I'm one of the person who don't like this activism uh, trend. We need to find a way to understand the procedure, what is happening in the decision making. It's true that we want young people to be in decision making, but we need young people with who are competent and understand the concept of being in a be a decision maker. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we can just maybe yeah before actually like we dive into the main thing. I think you can maybe let me just do justice to you. So maybe you just introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what you do, and all that.
Oh, okay. My name is Letsatsi Lekhooa from Lesotho. I am, yeah, I'm been in this climate change since 2014. After my community was destroyed by the hail. So that is that I tried to shift my career. I did mathematics and computer science undergraduate, but I saw the opportunity for me to help my community, because before we can go any further or any career you need to do is to solve a problem, not go to school and have beautiful pictures of your creations, but you have to have intention of going to school, maybe to learn and also to get certificate and also get knowledge of the problem and able to solve the problem. Because if we are still going to school because the ministry, the government of your country is providing scholarship, yeah, we are going to increase unemployment in the country. So instead of increasing unemployment in the country with irrelevant skills, so try to find a problem in your community and try to go to school and to understand how to solve that problem. Then I turned into climate change. So that means climate change and computer science and mathematics. It's more about problem solving. So I'm doing my master's in climate change now at the University of Free State. And another thing, I have been a coordinator of COI 16 and now a coordinator for COI 17. Also, I'm a mentor. I
Oh,
mentor, and maybe you will be my mentor, maybe you're my mentee. I mentor young people, especially journalists, to understand more about the environment and climate concept so that they could report good they could have good reporting skill. Because in this issue of climate change, people need to understand, when you write as a journalist, you need to write the fact, not being a denialist, because sometimes the denialist might bribe you to write the opposite of what is happening. So I'm mentoring young people into this issue of reporting as journalists, and also mentor young people into this space, to enter into this space, because I might be not found in Africa or in SADC, or I might be in UK, and UK might utilize my skill. So I have to make sure that we have a bench of experts in our SADC countries. So that's what I'm doing. And yeah, for me, I also I'm an innovator. So basically, on the issue of climate innovation. So I'm trying by all means to understand the innovation around the climate and environment. And lastly, lastly, it's not lastly, but I was selected as 150, top 150 students across the world for COP27 simulation. That means SADC countries was represented by me in the COP27 simulation. So representing University of Free State, and I think we were only three, even though I was from University of Free State, someone from Botswana, he was from Zimbabwe, and someone from Zimbabwe who is completing her master's here in Egypt. That's a glimpse of who I am. Yeah.
It's like, it's always nice to, when I listen to you guys' introduction, and you're like, this person is in the youth environment and all that, and you guys already have this long introduction, like have a long list of what you did, what you are currently doing, and all that. It's always inspiring and it's always amazing. And I should actually say it's actually a great honor to be speaking to you from Lesotho. It's actually my first time having somebody on this show actually from Lesotho, from your country. So it's a great pleasure to actually have you here.
I know, that's great. You say you're from which country?
I'm actually from Namibia.
Oh, Namibia.
Yes.
Country plus population.
Yeah. Exactly, and then a lot of desert. It's a desert country with a low population. We only actually, the population just actually, I think, approaching the 3 million now. So
Yeah, but I think I love the what is happening in Namibia, because young people are stepping out. They were not waiting for the government to give anything. They're just striving to find some ends and work together, because as young people we need to by all means to occupy the space.
yeah.
And work together with other people, because alone we cannot achieve more. But in your space, as a YouTuber, make sure that you occupy that space and earn money.
Exactly. Thank you for that. Actually, so you guys are noticing what you are doing here in Namibia. So it's
I mean, I did information system in my first year, so I also part of MISA Lesotho, which is Media Institute in Southern Africa, because I want to learn more about communication.
okay. I see.
So I'm very informative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great to hear that. So if we can just dive into the main discussion now. Can you tell us, like, the COP started on the 6th, right? And now today we are on the 9th. Can you just maybe run us through what has been happening at COP, what you guys did, the young people, like everything that has been happening at COP for the past days?
First of all, I'm representing the government now.
Okay. Okay.
I'm the youth representative. I'm the youth representative in the government delegate, so that means I'm a big man now. Okay, let's get into the main dessert. So basically, the COP it has a setting of being divided into maybe G77, umbrella, the LMDC, which is the like-minded developing countries, least developed countries, which is the LDC. So we have those categories, and the call for the COP26 was more about the implementation. So this COP27 is more about together for implementation. So it's then that as Africa, we can find a way how to integrate our knowledge to work together as a collective. So the theme for the COP27 is together for implementation. So my skill from Lesotho, your skill from Namibia can help the world. So it's a theme for this year. So the what is happening here? We are negotiating on the issue. Basically, the top in the top list of the climate finance, loss and damage, then mitigation and adaptation. But the top negotiations in the rooms is more about climate finance and loss and damage. Loss and damage, we are saying it is how can we finance those people who lost their families, who lost their land after the effects of climate change. So on climate finance, we also talked about the issue of how do we access the finance. Here in Africa, we have many people in we 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 are eligible to access the 100 billion USD, but the problem is how do we access that? So we are trying to find some funding arrangement, the funding mechanism, how Africa can utilize the funding and also another thing, it's our energy sector. So we are trying to find how can we power Africa. So maybe in the solar, like how can we power Namibia, Lesotho, maybe in solar plants. Yeah. For us as young people, I think we need to, like I said before, we need to read. Before I came here, I thought it's like, no, these old people, we need to remove them from these negotiations. But no, we need to read and understand the concept of negotiations. Yeah.
Issues. And I actually love the theme for this year, implementation, because I also believe that like they've been a lot of talking for the past COPs and all that. So I just hope like this implementation, like everything that is being discussed is going to be implemented and practically implemented and all that. And yeah, like as young people, like I think like as young people all over, we just think that we have to overthrow these old people that are in position now. We should take over and all that. But then like it's a matter of the way we approach stuff and all that, and the way of actually negotiating and all that. So it's not, I know we are feel like we are really we are kind of irritated, not really irritated, but we are kind of tired and all that. But then overthrowing the older people or answering them or insulting them and all that, that is actually not the way to go forward and all that. So yeah.
For me now, the takeaway from this 3 days COP, I learned I should read. There are free resources where you can read before, and also we need to appreciate before we can throw stones on these old people. We need to appreciate. The more we appreciate what they have done in this, it is not easy. I can say it is not easy.
That's true.
And once you hear what I repeated appreciate many times.
Yeah.
once you appreciate someone's effort, it's then that you're going to learn easy from him or her. So I think what we should find is to find the collaborative mechanism, how we can work with these old people, the people who are in the government, instead of coming against the government, find some solutions for the government to absorb young people, even not you, but how they can absorb, how they can find mechanism. So here in the COP, I just learned also I need to read and also appreciate the effort that they have made and what is happening now. And because all the COPs materials are free access, you can access them online. Then you can read and start. This activism we are doing in our communities. I think we need to find some way of creaming the content.
Yeah.
Just go into the radio. Hey, this government doesn't do this and this and this. What do you do as a young people?
Yeah.
Instead, what some of young people here in the COP, they just come here for pictures and going around, not learning. Maybe just going for a beach. Yeah, it's good to be happy and play, but let's find why are we here, and also how can we replicate the knowledge we have from this COP. Because for me, I have learned so much. I think I am a professor. They can give me a letter that I
So just to ask again, what do you guys hope, is now you are from Lesotho, right? Like, what do you guys hope that the COP achieves? Like, what do you guys want the COP to do for you as young people?
for me as a young person, I think we need to. My hope for this COP is I wish people here in the COP or the world should understand the theme for this year, or the motto, together for the implementation. So this blame game of saying, hey, the developed countries should give us money,
Yeah.
what. So your role as developing countries is to account and avoid corruption. So I think what we need is now for the together for the implementation, each country should take its role and start implementing the recommendations that were discussed in the meetings, the final decisions. And also, if you are a developed country, you are eligible to give out your pledges, do it. And also, I think another thing is to work together as countries, even though we are categorized as developing countries and developed countries. We are always in America, and we like America, we like UK, we like those developed countries. We never saw the opportunity that we can work together with them. They can implement their project in our countries and also sustain our communities. So I think it's more about collective intelligence or collective collaboration. And I think also because in the COP, maybe decision making, they are calling for women. Maybe you will be part of, because always women are on a spotlight. So that means one of the decision here is that to incorporate, make sure that maybe 50-50 women and men. So maybe to the next COP, there will be more women into this space of climate change. We need to also capacitate women and girls to understand more about climate change. You see, it's one of the issue now, gender and climate change. So I think we need to try by all means. Maybe for you as YouTuber, you should understand climate change communication. How are we going to communicate climate change? Because if your community don't understand, the Nama people, they should understand the concept of climate change and integrate their indigenous knowledge on climate change with the climate science. So you try by all means, you talk, you speak the language that you see. I know your language.
Okay.
So
I didn't see that
you try by
coming.
all means as a communicator to communicate the language they speak so that they could understand and able to find some solutions as the community, because we need to find some local community solutions.
I didn't know, like I didn't see that coming, like you mentioning, I was like, did he really say the Nama people? I'm like, okay. But yeah, it's great to actually hear that. Yeah, like yeah, that's very important. Like we have to understand as a community and all that. You have to understand like what is climate change, why you have to be involved in climate change, and what is our role in climate change and all that. And yeah, especially the indigenous people and all that, because even me myself growing up, I didn't know, I was like, climate change is not my business, that's the government's business, and that's a white man's thing, so I'm not going to be involved. Like even though growing up being affected by flood, by drought and all that, we're like, that's the government's job, they must do something, not us. But then as I learned, as I began to read and just to understand the whole thing, I'm like, we're actually the cause of this. So that's an obvious that we have to be involved in combating it, in combating this climate change and another thing. And I think that's just one thing that we really have to kind of educate the whole community and all that. And even though like in school we learn about these things, what is climate change, but then you never really understand what really, like in a practical way, like what really is climate change. You just know the definition and for the sake of exam, but as a community we really have like to understand what is climate change, what is our role and all that. And yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very key for, like I said, we need to teach more journalists and everyone to understand climate change communication.
Yeah.
Like for my country, we have the Xhosa people, Sesotho, Puti. So I have to also understand, like now, I realize that the Arabic people, they don't, and they need the language barrier. Also, it's a problem. So I think this COP also try to smoothen the barrier or the bridge, the bridge, the walls. Is trying to break the walls where we can work together and find some solutions together, because we are in one land, in one planet, on one planet. So we are trying. So we have to save this one planet for our kids, because now even though we are suffering now, but we need to think of the future of our children, because basically for the COP28, I think we should have try by all means to mobilize and understanding within our communities, because if we are thinking of, like I said, America should give us money, Saudi Arabia should give our money, but we have local people who have money who don't understand how they can use their money. So let's find some solution on local finance, which is the local climate finance, the investment in our country. And those people, it is easy for them to give out the money because they saw the impacts of climate change in their community. It's easy for them to give out the money. Other than for me in Lesotho, if you are coming to me as Lesotho citizen, you say, hey, Sunshine, can you give us money? In Namibia, we have the flood. I didn't experience that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so we need to try by all means to mobilize the local finance, the local people understand, not that they have to understand the climate science, but what they need to understand, what is climate change, the effects of climate change, and how we can work together as communities, as private sectors, journalists, NGOs, and the government. So if we are letting everything to the government, it's not going to be easy. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's actually very much true. And all that. So we only have about 4 minutes left. So maybe if you can just tell us, maybe like in about 3 minutes, like what has your experience been at COP27, and like what you recommend it to other people to also experience that, to also be part of COP?
Hey, I think I should be part of this COP, maybe at higher level. And I think I wish to learn more about the COP setting, and because I have started as a young negotiator at learning, do some short courses on the negotiations, and I did COP27 simulation. That means I simulated the whole COP. But I think when I came here for the COP, I think we did a good job, but I think this COP is more than what I was thinking of. So I think what we should do as young people is to learn, to read, work together, have some weekend away discussion, lecturing in our communities. While we are still drinking, let's find some 30 minutes knowledge sharing. I think we can, because I know we usually meet in drinks and go trip. Let's find some, maybe some, even a icebreaker on the issue of our communities, and find some solutions during that time. And also, while you are in every workshop or any meeting, try by all to find some takeaway. Don't sleep without anything for your community. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually very true. That's actually very true. You said it very well. So thank you so much, Sunshine, for actually taking your time. I know it's early in the morning, and I bet you have to rush to COP and all that. So thank you so much for actually being here, for taking the time. We really, really, very much appreciate you, and we wish you all the best. And I hope that you will, and we believe in you. You will represent us well as from the southern region and all that, and as young people. So thank you so much.